Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsachanora Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagadgurum Tvameva Mata Cha Pita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravidam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvameva Sarvam Gurudeva Deva. Hari Om. We are doing the chapter 9 of the Ashtavakra Gita, where sage Ashtavakra continues in terms of how to be indifferent and develop equanimity, and also the required logical analysis to differentiate what is permanent, eternal, and what is temporary or ephemeral. So this chapter 9 is in essence is the description of what Laya involves. Laya means, that was discussed in the 5th chapter, Evameva Layam Braja. So that alone has to be given up. So what is that dissolution? Just as you go into deep sleep state where you give up everything, all objects, all relationships, including the identification with the body, mind, intellect, you give up. And you give up effortlessly and go to sleep, and where you are not aware of anything other than the ignorance that I don't know. And I don't know what? I don't know any subject-object duality that arises with the mind. So mind itself is folded. That means you are not the mind. Body is as though folded. So therefore you are not the body. Even the intellect is also folded, since there is no discriminative thoughts and you are not the intellect. So giving up the body, mind and intellect is the essential process that need to be done during the waking state for realization, and that's what essentially Jage Naike Amritatmanasahu. You have to give up your identification with the body, mind, intellect. And whenever we are in the waking state, that is exactly we do. We identify ourselves with our body. When I say I am here, I am 5 feet tall, and all other attributes of the body we superimpose on ourselves as I am hungry, I am thirsty, and all that. And at the same time, we identify ourselves that I am a mind when I identify myself with the emotional aspects of my personality. I am angry, I am in love, and I am this, I am that, all those emotional relationships, and I am a father, I am a mother, all are at the emotional level, and all that identifications also gone when I go to deep sleep state. Effortlessly, no relations of any kind, and I have no relationship with anything whatsoever. And the intellectual, all my glories, my accomplishments, the name and the fame, and what other people think of me, what I think of others, all that is gone. It's a homogeneous absence of everything, but I am conscious of the absence of everything. Therefore, I know that I don't know, in the sense that I can recollect that I didn't know anything, because there is no subject-object knowledge of it. And that he called Evameva Layam Braja. That's how he gave 4 slokas in the chapter 5, that how can I dissolve this whole. And here is an explanation, how can I dissolve in the waking state, well awake in terms of all the things. And that is called essentially being indifferent to everything. That is essentially how you give up. The things you do not give up, in the sense things are there still, Since mind is there, objects will be there, perception will be going on, relationships will be there, everything will be there as they are. But only thing is, I don't put investment in that. I become indifferent whether things come that I like or things come that I don't like. Indifferent is neither I go for it nor I reject it. That's what indifference is. And that is what the real renunciation of the object per se. Object can be a being or an object, inert object. So as far as I am concerned, where things come or not, things do come because of the prarabdha. So because of whatever the past actions, things will be coming in and going, living continuously. But if I am indifferent to it, whether it comes or not, it should not bother me. It should not affect my mind. My mind is tranquil enough, so these raga dveshas are neutralized, that I don't get excited about something that comes that I like, and I don't get depressed if something that if something comes that I don't like. That's what essentially Krishna says, dukkeshu anudvignamanaha, sukeshu vigataspruha, vitaraga bhayakrodaha, sitadhir muniruchyate. So, vitaraga ragam, bhayam, krodam, all those things are not affecting my mind. Things that I like, things that I don't like, and it is immaterial to me in that sense. Therefore, I am indifferent to it. Indifference is same as laya in the deep sleep state, where they are physically disappearing. Here I am mentally making it to disappear in terms of their reaction to my mind. Therefore, they don't affect me. That's what is essentially is being discussed here as being indifferent. And we did 2 slokas. And it says that in the Kruta, akrutecha, dvandvani, kada shantani kasyasa. Whether I do it or I don't do it, it doesn't bother me. It may bother the particular mind and intellect, but I am kartaham, abhoktaham. I am never a doer, even when the body, mind, intellect are doing. So therefore, it is immaterial to me. Indifferent is, I will have an indifference to the results of the action. I may act like that these are like, these I don't like. I may I may act for transactional purposes, but at the same time, it is indifferent. So, if somebody offers, sir, we have a air-conditioned room and you have to sleep there, and all comforts are provided, so it comes to you, then, so no, I am Vedantin, I don't want that. We don't say it. We take it as it comes. And if the AC breaks down, things don't work, you try to solve a problem, but with indifference that this is what has to be done and need to be done and will be done without getting affected. So they will not leave strong impressions in the mind of a realized soul. That's what essentially krutam, akrutam. So a Mahatma does intensely involved in the activities. At the same time, he is not affected by that. So things say, praise people because he is acting, or abuse of some people because they don't like the way you are doing. All that will be happening, but you do what is right from the point of totality, with the notion that it is the Lord's work and Lord himself doing this work and I am not doing it. So the blame, Lord has to take it, not you. So in that sense, it is an indifference. So kruta, akruta, whether doing or not doing, dvandvani. So it gives an example of the action-wise dvandvas. There can be sitam, ushnam, sukham, dukkham, and that's what Krishna talks about. Sitoshna, sukha, dukkeshu. So sitam, ushnam, sukham, dukkham, manam, apanam, they are he has an equal vision for both of them, although at the point of BMI that he may act that he likes this, he doesn't like it, all that. So one has to be careful. Just because he is appreciating what he likes and what he doesn't like, people say, oh, he's also like us. The Mahatma, he may act like us, but he acts in such a way that he knows the truth, that these are immaterial. At the same time, he is playing the drama of life. So that's what the first sloka. Second sloka that we did is Kasyapi tata dhanyasya lokacheshtavalokanat jivite ichha bubutshacha bubutsopasamam gataha. So the whatever that comes, Kasyapi, who's even my child, dhanyasya, the blessed one, lokacheshtavalokanat, he sees the activities at the worldly level, and jivite ichha, the passion for living is not there other than whatever the span of life that is intended for that body, mind, intellect, he'll make use of it. So since we mentioned in the Bhadram Karnebihi that it says, let me live, not more, not less. Whatever the karma has, the karma assigned, let me live through, but let my limbs be intact. So let me not be pain here, pain there and all that. Why? Because whatever I had to do for the Loka Kalyanam, let me do that as effectively as possible. Not for my sake, but for the other's sake, the body, mind, intellect will be used. So, since I know that Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman, whatever I do is for Brahman only. That means that infinite, that is the totality, which is called Lokam. Loka Kalyana means that which benefits the totality or that benefits the Brahman. So, in that sense, he will be acting. So, we go through Sloka 3 now. Anityam sarvame vedam Anityam sarvame vedam tapatritaya dushitam asaram ninditam heyam iti nischitya shamyati together. Anityam sarvame vedam tapatritaya dushitam asaram ninditam heyam iti nischitya shamyati. So sarvam vedam, sarvam eva idam anityam. This whole sarvam, everything, that is without any exclusion or without any separation, and sarvam evam idam, all this idam means whatever that I can point out as this Ishavashyam Lagum Sarvam, and this universe is entirely pervaded by the Ishvara. So including Ishvara that pervades the idam also, that is included. Sarvam eva idam anityam is not permanent. So Ishvara may be permanent, but the objects that changes continuously. So what is Jagat? Jagat, the whole universe considered as a Jagat, and Jagat means Jayate, Gacchate, it is Jagat, that which comes and goes. That means continuously changing, and that's the nature of the Jagat. And we said, if things is changing, then there has to be changeless entity in that changing things. And that's what is law of conservation means. And balancing equation is nothing but A plus B is changing into C plus D, but there has to be something changeless in the two. So that's why we look at number of atoms here has to match in the number of atoms on that side, because that's a law of conservation. And not only just the total number of atoms, we have to conserve each atom. Number of hydrogen in this side has to match number of hydrogen there. Number of oxygen this side has to match number of oxygen there. And that is essentially involves the balancing. That means the matter is conserved. That's the reason. And the heat energy is also conserved. And therefore we balance it in such a way that the equation is valid. And that's exactly what the chemical equations are. All the reactions are there. So same way, the whole Jagat is continuously changing, and if things are there, Dinaya Minyo Swayam Prata, morning has come, the evening has come, the day is gone, night has come, the night is gone, and the seasons have come, seasons have gone. All that we can complain about this day, complain about it's too cold, complain about, we may do complaining all that, but whatever that is what is the property of the nature of the Lord itself. And this is impermanent, it's going to change. So you don't worry about the things that have come are not conducive. If you wait long enough, that will change. Or you may not long enough, but it will change. That is the nature of the world. Anichyam. Sarvam eva idam. So therefore, tapatraya dushitam. Therefore, this world is, in addition to not only the impermanent nature, it contributes to tapatritayam. So tapaha, suffering in terms of tritayam, in terms of threefold suffering. And dushitam, it has a defect involving these threefold, the errors involved, and threefold misery. And what is that what are the three folds? And here he doesn't say, and Gurudev says in his commentary that it is the Adi Daivika, Adi Bhautika, Adhyatmika. These are called Doshatrayam. These are the defects that come in Adi Daivika, that which belongs to Devas, Adi Bhautika, that which belongs to external, and Adhyatmika, that belongs to internal. These are disturbances that contributes to for my unrest. And from the point of Adi Daivika, these are what's acts of God. What are the acts of God? If you go to insurance company and they will say this policy is exempt from the acts of God. What are the acts of God? A severe thunder or severe monsoon affecting your property, or fire. All these comes under, according to insurance company, comes under acts of God. That's what they put a clause there. Only God causes the terrible things. And so the things that are beyond my control and beyond anybody's control. If the Tufan is going to come, give is a warning about coming Tufan. There is nothing much I can do about the Tufan, but I can protect myself to the degree possible from the effects of Tufan. That's why the government will give you enough warning for people if they know that some disaster is going to come. But they cannot control it, but they can only tell you what you have to protect yourself. And that's essentially beyond my control. Adi Daivikam, that's that which belongs to, that which is beyond anybody's control. And that's what is acts of God. Comes under acts of God. And that's essentially Adi Daivikam. Adi Bhautikam, or we know the source, we know what is causing the problem, but we don't have a control on it. So I'm sitting in state of meditation, suddenly my teenager neighbor is blasting his music and disturbing all over, the whole street is getting disturbed by his acts. There is nothing much I can do. I can ask him to slow down and all that. And if he's not going to listen, then I have to put up. There is nothing much, because he has a legal right within that. So if that is the case, that's called Adi Bhautikam. Disturbances that we know the source, but we have no control on it. And those are the disturbances, and that also will not be bothering him. And third defect is Adhyatmikam. Adhyatmik is internal differences the mind is getting disturbed or the body is getting disturbed, and those are nothing to do with external but something to do with the internal. And during that, see, the perturbation at the mind level or the body level, intellect level bothers during the state of meditation, that you want to hold on to it. Until I finish, let there not be any perturbance. And as I am in this state of understanding as I am the Jivan Mukta, and let there not be any perturbation of my mind, intellect and the body to the degree that I have to come down and attend the needs of BMI. So therefore, this is Anityam Sarvame Vedam. So this is continuously changing, and the changeless entity substratum is that which is in principle your own self, and that essentially contributes to the Anityaism, can contribute to Tapatrayam. This is one way of looking at the threefold nature of Dushitam, defects in the world. So there are different ways of looking at this. These three defects can also be talked about, that at the level of the objects, where they are temporarily, and therefore they are essentially contributes to the Tapatrayam. In other words, if I want to get something of the objective nature, then there are the three sufferings that I have to go through. One is suffering to get it, suffering to maintain it, and suffering if I loses it. So both in terms of gaining, sustenance and loss, there is a tremendous suffering, and that free from that is essentially things come, I don't get excited, things stay, I don't get excited, things come and the things go away, things that I like go away. That also then mind doesn't get perturbed, because I am reveling in Atmaniyeva Atmanatushtaha. I do not depend on the objects or the people for my happiness. I depend on my own self, which is eternally present and available for me to enjoy. So that is essentially the one way of one defect. The second defect is asantruptikaram. All the objective satisfactions do not give me the permanent eternal happiness that I am longing for. Therefore I give up. I don't need it because it doesn't give what I want. So what I want is the inexhaustible happiness, and this is temporarily, and it is contributing for the time being only the happiness. Time wise, object wise, it is limited, and that has to be given up, and that is essentially the asantruptikaram. And third defect is bandhakatvam. If I enjoy any object, the object may be finite, the enjoyment may be finite, but what leaves is an impression in the mind as a vasana to repeat or to avoid that experience again, and that is what's called bondage, because now I have become slave to it. Like drinking first thing a cup of coffee in the morning, initially it's an enjoyment, later it becomes a cause for suffering. If I don't get it, I become restless and unhappy. So therefore I depend for my happiness on the cup, first thing on a cup of coffee. So that dependence is a problem, not the cup of coffee. There is no happiness in the cup of coffee. And even when I thought that it gives me happiness, there is no happiness there. Happiness comes from my own self. So that is the bondage, bandhakatvam. So essentially it's the dukkha misrisatvam and asantruptikaram and bandhakatvam. These are the doshatrayam that comes with the sarvam eva idam. All this that I want anything that you can qualify either at the physical level or at the mental level or at the emotional or the intellectual level, BMI levels, each one has their own limitations. Therefore, all the happiness is the desha, kala, vastu, parichinnam. It's limited by space-wise, time-wise, object-wise. This is all comes under idam. And therefore, they have tapa tritayam, dushitam, asaram ninditam heyam. So asaram means there is no saram, there is no happiness in the object. I am going for an object thinking that I am going to become happy, and I feel happy also depending upon how much I am longing for it. So, but it is impermanent, and therefore whatever that is will not remain with me, and in fact there is no happiness there. Even though I think happiness is having a cup of coffee, there is no happiness in the cup of coffee. Then why am I going there? Because I have an assumption that brings happiness. Therefore, I am agitated that I want coffee. So when I get a cup of coffee, it's not the happiness coming from the coffee, it fulfills the desire for coffee. There's a longing mind, is no more longing now, and it's now calm and quiet, peaceful, and therefore it is happy. So I attribute the happiness to the coffee rather than to my own self, and that's where the problem is. And essentially, it is it becomes a problem. Therefore, there is no saram in that. There is no happiness in any object, even though we think that particular object is giving happiness. Ninditam, so it is contemptible because it is causing a bondage ultimately. If I depend on that for my happiness, as we said in the cup of coffee, it becomes a bondage now. Unless I get it, I won't be happy. So it is ninditam. And heyam, therefore it is to be rejected. And iti nischitya shamyati. So contemplate on that, thinking that no object will give me happiness that I want. And that is because it is not nityam, permanent, and it has mixed with 3 doshas, and it is no saram there, and it is essentially contemptible and heyam, and therefore rejectable. And iti nischitya samyati. So you become peaceful by rejecting the whole world. That itself gives you a confidence and happiness for you. We'll do sloka 4. Kase kale vaya kimba, kase kale vaya kimba, yatra dvandvani no nrunam, yatra dvandvani no nrunam, tanyupeksha yada prapta, varti siddhim avapnuyat, varti siddhim avapnuyat. So kaha asau, kasau. So kaha asau. So what is that? Is there anything really that? Kalaha, time. Vaya, the time, and the kalaha, time. Vayaha, age. And what time, what age? Kimba. Is there any meaning in that? So kaha kasau kale. So there is no time itself is not real, and therefore all things in the time are also not real. They are only apparently real in the waking, in the transactional regime, but from the point of its value on the permanent happiness, it has no value. And you say, who is changing here? You say, I am getting old. How can I become old? Because I am eternally present. There is no question of old and young. But then I am claiming that I am getting old. What is getting old is the body. The body has a date of birth and date of expiry. And even though we don't know when is the date of its expiry? We know it's born. One end is known, other end is mystery. So therefore, what is that I need in order to kase kalaha vayaha? So all these things have no meaning in terms of from the absolute point. So kase kalo, what is it that kalaha, time? What is the time means? What does time means? Time is a gap between two sequential events. That's an Einsteinian definition. So the Vedanta provides a little bit different definition. This time is a gap between two experiences. So experience involves the essence of the Vedanta. So here, kase kalaha vayaha kimba. So what is it? What is the time and what is the vayaha, age? And say I am 50 years old, 60 years old. What does that mean? I am not 50, 60 years old. I am eternal. So I am eternally young or eternally old, you can say. But this body is 50, 60 years old, but I am not the body. So therefore, the body, age of the body, I superimpose on myself. I am so and so. And that's why what time, what age, kimbo ayatra, where and how, and dvandvani, no. And duality is not there, or the pairs of opposite are not there. Nunam, for the men, this will bring there. Atani upekshya, kaso kale vah kimba yatra dvandvani nondrunam, tanyupekshayada prapta vari nisiddhi siddhim avapnoti. So essentially, that the tani upeksha, so having tired from those things, dvandvani tanyupeksha yada praptirvarti yada praptirvarti. So essentially, whatever that comes as a result of the prarabdha, one accepts as it is and one doesn't go after it. So that is essentially, we are talking about not only the indifference to things that are coming and going, at the same time, says tan upeksha, having not interest in that, yatha praptavarti siddhim, whatever comes due to the prarabdha karma, things come that are conducive, things come that are not conducive. Accept it as though it is the gift from the Lord. So prasada buddhi has to come. Acceptance of whatever is given to you by the Lord, you accept it as a part of the life as the body, mind and intellect has to go through, but you don't go through because you are not the BMI, you are something beyond. With that keep in mind, you can experience any prarabdha as the vibhuti of the Lord itself. Here we stop here. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.